Sorry.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Green Shabbat as we celebrate the Jewish holiday of Tu B'Shvat, the New Year of the Trees, in partnership with our TBS Green Team. Tu B'Shvat is named after the Hebrew date of the holiday, the 15th in the month of Shvat, and it begins this Sunday night. It stems from ancient times when our Israelite ancestors first planted fruit trees in the land of Israel. They were commanded to dedicate the first 4 years of their fruit harvest to the temple as an offering of gratitude. So the rabbis marked the 15th of Shvat as a birthday for the trees, regardless of when they were planted, so the Israelites would know when they could finally enjoy the literal fruits of their labor. Trees hold a special importance in Judaism. As you may know, our Torah is called a tree of life, the living core of our tradition. And planting trees became a powerful custom to signify a joyous event. Maybe like me, you have a certificate from your bar bat mitzvah that a tree was planted in Israel in your name. And just as God planted the Garden of Eden, so too should we plant gardens and trees. And the great medieval commentator Rashi even compared trees to people, saying, like humans, trees have the power to grow. As humans have children, so trees bear fruit. And when a human is hurt, cries of pain are heard throughout the world. So when a tree is chopped down, its cries are heard throughout the world. The Kabbalists also established mythic rituals like Tu B'Shvat seders and eating fruits and nuts that grow on trees, particularly those that grow in Israel like pomegranates and dates. So Tu B'Shvat is a day of gratitude for everything that trees give us: shade, food, homes for animals and other living things, and their role as the lungs of our earth, breathing in carbon dioxide and breathing out oxygen. It's also evolved into a Jewish Earth Day, celebrating the many connections between Judaism and nature. Today, Tu B'Shvat is also a time to focus on environmentalism and sustainability, reflecting the mitzvah Bal Tashchit, do not destroy the earth. We're excited later in our service to be hearing from several Green Team members as they share some readings that reflect the connections between Judaism and trees. And we will also have a special presentation by the leader of our Green Team, Rick, regarding an exciting new sustainability project that our whole community can participate in. So this Green Shabbat and this Tu B'Shvat weekend, I hope we can all meditate on our personal connections to nature and how we can help sustain our ecosystems and our planet. But first, we'll begin our service with a special song, Zum Gali, a traditional Israeli song that honors the early pioneers who, in the words of David Ben-Gurion, made the desert bloom.
Zum Gali, 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 Zum Gali, Gali, Zum Gali, 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 Zum Gali. From the dawn till the setting sun, everyone finds work to be done. From the dawn till the night does come, there's a task for everyone. Zoom, golly, 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 zoom, golly, golly, zoom, golly, 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 zoom, golly. Do it again. Zoom, golly, 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 zoom, golly, golly, zoom, golly, 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 zoom. Join together in a song, make the day's work seem half as long. Join together in a song, come and dance and join in the song. Zoom, golly, 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 zoom, golly, golly, zoom, golly, 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 zoom, golly, golly, zoom, golly, 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 zoom, golly, golly, zoom, golly, golly, golly. Little quieter, little quieter. Zoom, golly, 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 zoom, golly, golly, zoom, golly, golly. Let's let it fade out. Zoom, golly, 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 zoom, golly, golly, zoom, golly, 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 zoom, golly, golly.
We'll continue with lighting our Shabbat candles, and I'd like to invite Tirza and Rick to light our Shabbat candles for us.
As the Shabbat candles give light to all those who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold them.
As the brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. I'd like to invite up Rona for our first reading.
All right, thank you. Abraham Isaac Kook served as the first chief rabbi of the modern Ashkenazic Jewish community in modern-day Israel. One day, Rav Kook was walking in the fields with a student when his student carelessly plucked a leaf off a branch. Visibly shaken by this act, Rav Kook turned to his companion and said gently, "Believe me when I tell you, I never simply pluck a leaf or a blade of grass or any living thing unless I have to. Every part of the vegetable world is singing a song and breathing forth a secret of the divine mystery of creation." For the first time, the young student understood the meaning of showing compassion to all things.
Thank you, Rona. Thank you. With that beautiful teaching of Rav Kook, thank you, Rona. We're going to continue singing together, welcoming the Shabbat bride in Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Likrat Kala, B'nai Shabbat, Nekabla, Nekabla, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Likrat Kala, B'nai Shabbat, Nekabla. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorah. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorah.
I'd like to invite you, if you would like to take a moment and take a deep breath, perhaps the deepest breath you've taken all day, perhaps sighing out whatever we need to let go of from this week, perhaps breathing in whatever we may need from Shabbat for these next 24 hours. With that, I invite you, if you are able, to please rise for Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? La la la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yadadai-dai-dai, 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 yadadai-dai-dai.
You may be seated as we turn to Ma'ariv Aravim, our evening prayer of creation, appreciating the wonder of creation as we technically begin a new day as the evening comes. We're on page 30 in our prayer books, or you can read along right on the slides. We'll begin in the Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, bechochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. We'll continue in the English. You are the creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch Atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. We'll continue with Shema. You are welcome to rise for a moment as we declare the beauty and the oneness of all living things.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, b'shivtecha b'beitecha, uvlechtecha v'aderech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafod beineinecha, uchtavtam al mizuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. I'd like to invite up Neil to share our second reading for our Green Shabbat.
According to Jewish tradition, when God created Adam and Eve, God showed them all the trees of the Garden of Eden. God said to them, "Look at my works, how beautiful and praiseworthy they are. And everything that I created it for you. Pay attention that you do not spoil and destroy my world. If you do, there will be no one after you to repair it." This Tu B'Shvat, may we carry on the stewardship of the earth passed down by our ancestors. May we seek to not destroy the fragile, complex ecosystems upon which all living things rely, and the incredible biodiversity that relies on us. This Tu B'Shvat, may we be inspired to do our small part to help cherish and sustain the earth for our children and many generations to come.
Thank you, Neil. With that, we will continue singing together with Mi Chamocha. Please keep singing with us.
Adonai
We'll continue as we begin our Amidah, our standing prayers. I invite you, if you are able, to please rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, Lima'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rav Lehoshia, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Meimid Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emana Talachayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. Atah Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim b'chol yom Yehallelucha Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated, and we'll take a few moments now for a silent prayer. If you have a prayer book, you can use anything on pages 54 to 60, or whatever may be in your own heart this evening. I'd like to invite up Joanne for our next reading.
The best remedy for those who are afraid, lonely, or unhappy is to go outside, somewhere where they can be quite alone with the heavens, nature, and God. Because only then does one feel that all is as it should be, and that God wishes to see people happy and amidst the simple beauty of nature. As long as this exists, and it certainly always will, I know that there will always be comfort for every sorrow, and I firmly believe that nature brings solace in all troubles. Anne Frank.
Thank you, Joanne. We're going to continue with a very special melody as we continue to celebrate Tu B'Shvat. You may be familiar with this one thanks to John Denver. We're going to sing Garden Song, or as it's also known, Inch by Inch. If you know it, please join along with us.
I think this is the first Sesame Street song that we included in it.
Really? It's taken that long?
Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All you need is a rake and hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Pulling weeds and picking stones, man is made of dreams and bones. Feel the need to grow my own, 'cause the time is close at hand. Grain for grain, sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain. To my body and my brain, to the music of the land. Plant your rows strong and long, temper them with a prayer and song. Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her love and care. Old crow watching hungrily from his perch in yonder tree. In my garden I'm as free as that feather thief up there. Inch by inch, row by row, gonna watch this garden grow. All you need is a rake and hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Till the rain comes tumbling down.
I want to wish you again a Shabbat Shalom, and I'm really excited to invite Rick to join us up here on the Bima as he shares about a really exciting project from the TBS Green Team. I'll hand it over to you. Okay.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So the Green Team, I guess first I want to thank the rabbi, Rabbi Lynette. She had the vision to really start this a number of years ago, and unfortunately COVID hit and we had to part our ways, but we did get it together and pull it back together, so thank you so much. So what I want to talk to you today about is the food waste that we generate in our houses and what we can do with that food waste rather than taking it to a landfill. Why we should compost that food waste and the environmental benefits behind that, as well as the composting project that we are now doing with All Saints and how you can get involved with that on your own basis, in your own home. And then we have some other events that the Green Team is doing, and that song was kind of appropriate with one of them. Did I do that right? Yeah, okay. Figuring this out. So why composting? Well, so I wanted to give you a comparison of what composting versus landfilling does. You know, most of us will just toss it into the garbage, or used to. Tirza and I have been composting for a number of years. And so if we take that food waste and put it into the landfill, we end up creating environmentally bad greenhouse gases, particularly methane, versus if it's properly composted, we end up trapping those the carbon in there into the compost, and then we get to reuse it in our lands, either lawn or gardens. So we do create a viable product by composting versus contributing to greenhouse gases. And it's estimated that 8% of our greenhouse gases are produced by the humans, and that's typically coming from our landfills. So we do keep the food out of the landfill, and right now in the U.S., it's estimated that 22% of the solid waste that goes into landfill is actually discarded food, and that comes from homes as well as production facilities and grocery stores and things of that nature. So it is better for the environment. It's sustainable. We have a full cycle going from growing from something to the ground to putting it back into the ground as a compost. SWACO, which is our solid waste authority in central Ohio, estimates that 1 pound of food per household is thrown away each day. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, except the last census there was 817,086 households in the Columbus metro area. So if 1 pound of food is thrown away by each one of those, you can imagine the amount of waste that we are creating that's going into that landfill. So what can we do, or what is TBS doing? So the Green Team, TBS, and All Saints, along with Go Zero Composting, have partnered together to create a food waste drop-off point right here at TBS, and it's just off of the parking lot, very close to where the playground is. Go Zero is a commercial composting company that turns food waste into usable compost. And we've created the program with All Saints to provide the community with a food waste composting service. And what can be composted? Well, it's almost anything that's coming out of your kitchen. So any kind of fruits, baked goods, beans, coffee grounds, eggshells, just about anything that you have coming out of there. There is a list that we have available for those who would like to be part of that. So how to compost? So if you want to participate, each household that would like to participate can contribute to the Green Team Fund. The cost is $120 annually, and it's used for the buckets, the certified compostable bags, and the collection fee. And you would go online to tbs.org, tbsohio.org, under the Affinity Team tab. This is slightly wrong because they've changed the way you do this, but if you hover over that tab, you'll see Green Team pop up. Click on that, and there will be a group pay online form that pops up. Fill it out. We'll get a message from the front office, and a Green Team member will drop off your bucket. About 48 compostable bags to line your bucket with, and a Go Zero flyer letting you know what is compostable. Once you have that, start filling your bucket. And once it's full, you can bring it back to the temple and drop it in one of the bins behind here. There's a fence around that. There is some information that I have placed out in the lobby in a folder that explains this program and how you sign up for it, as well as another program we have. So there's a couple events coming up that I also wanted to talk about, as well as this composting project. Part of the mission for the Green Team, we decided, was to help educate the Temple community on environmental actions, sustainability. And so we have, along with the religious school, 2 speakers this Sunday at the religious school. One is Elizabeth Ellman. She chairs the Bexley's Environmental Sustainability Advisory Committee, and she's going to talk about sustainable living. The other one is Rebecca Ness, and she's the vice chair of Green Bexley, and she's doing a parents program on green parenting, and it's all about how to, I guess, bring green or environmentally sound practices into your household and your family. We also have a couple opportunities on volunteering. So All Saints Community Garden that supports the Gahanna and the New Albany food banks has contributed through their garden effort, their vegetable garden effort, 2,500 pounds of food. That was this year's donation, and if you are familiar with that garden, it sits in their front yard by their 2-car garage that they have over there. And they use about 50 volunteers. And so if anybody would like to volunteer, you can contact Bonnie Cram, who is also part of the Green Team, but also she is the volunteer coordinator for Healthy New Albany. And that information is out in the lobby also on how to sign up for that. In addition, the Green Team is planning on putting a pollinator garden in the front of our property. And so we will be doing that this spring, and there'll be more information on that at a later date. I would highly recommend or ask you to follow us on TBS Green Team Facebook page for any kind of updates on these programs as well as others. More on composting, articles on local environmental projects, on government projects, and any legislation that we might hear about that might impact the sustainability and environmental issues in Columbus. And last but not least, I want to thank my team, the Green Team, who's done a tremendous job of pulling these together. Tirza, my wife, Joanne and Steve Grossman, Bonnie Cram, Rona Rosen, Alan Claudel, Neil Karen, Leslie Thomas, Michael Goldman, and Lee Miller. They've all been very supportive, helpful, and have done a lot to get both the speakers and also to get this composting project off to square one and working. So thanks for listening to me.
Thank you so much, Rick. Thank you so much, Rick, for sharing. This is a really exciting project. I hope that you will consider participating in our composting project. I am stunned every week by how much my own composting bucket fills up between the coffee and the tea and anything else. So really can make a huge difference. And thank you to all of our Green Team members. And of course, if you have more questions, if you're interested in joining the Green Team, please chat with Rick after the service. Awesome, thank you. We're going to now continue with our Misha Berach prayer, with our healing prayer. Just as we know, as we talk about nature and the environment, that everything is connected, we also know that all of us are connected as well, and how much of a difference it can make to extend our support, perhaps through a text or a call or maybe a socially distant visit, to let folks in our community know that we're thinking of them as a way to actualize our Misha Berach prayer. I know that we have a whole lot of folks in our community who are ill with COVID-19, and we are thinking of everyone in our community and also outside our community, and we are certainly thinking of them and praying for their healing. This evening specifically, we are thinking for healing for Catherine Adler, Marcia Ames, Marilyn Altman, Lynn Adams, Sarah Bates, Deborah Belford, Barbara Belford, Marjorie Block, Paul Branson, Lee Budin, Jack Cashman, Dave Sidarquest, Dorothy Cohen, Rob Cohen, Lily Kovitz, Adrian Crawford, Rick Crawford, Taya Delano, Gary Dicker, Tony Diegler, Carrie Ebert, Sylvia Eckstein, Elaine Ellick, Michael Fiorelli, Rachel Fish, Olivia Glick, Jimmy Green, David Haas, Don Kerr, Peter Levy, Barb Lucas, Byron McGee, Angel Marrero, Fred Martin, Minna Melton, Connie Minarovic, David Minarovic, Caleb Moses, Dorothy Muncie, Dick Nettleman, Robert Oakley, Nick Parisi, Meredith Paul, Aaron Phelan, Ian Phillips, Aaron Plosco, Rashi Prestowski, Jessica Rathkopf, William J. Reese, Barry Richmond, Zachary Rowe, Irving Rose, June Sahara, Rolf Sauer, Susan Shermer, Barbara Schuster, and Marty Schuster, Richard Schur, Lou Supowitz, Greg Vinokur, Robert Weiss, Maddie Weiss, Jonah Snyder, Ben Sequel. If there's anyone else whom we are thinking of this evening for healing, I invite you to say their name either aloud or in your heart. For them and for all those who are in need of healing, we'll sing together Misha Bera.
Source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Yisheberach imotenu mekor habrecha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. And let us say, Amen.
We're going to begin concluding our service first with Bayom Hahu. Please keep on singing with us.
Bayom Hahu, Yeh Adonai Echad. Bayom Hahu, Yeh Ushmo Echad. Ne'emar, as it is written, Ne'emar, let it be said that rules the earth, and they that shall be one. V'haya Adonai, HaMelech HaKol Haaretz, on that day, God's name shall be one. Bayom Hahu, Yeh Adonai Echad. Bayom Hahu, Yeh Ushmo Echad, Ushmo Echad.
As we begin preparing for Mourner's Kaddish, I'd like to share this poem by Maya Angelou, When Great Trees Fall. She composed this poem in memory of Martin Luther King Jr., which is also fitting as we recall him and celebrate his legacy this weekend. When great trees fall. When great trees fall, rocks on distant hills shudder, lions hunker down in tall grasses, and even elephants lumber after safety. When great trees fall in forests, small things recoil into silence, their senses eroded beyond fear. When great souls die, the air around us becomes light, rare, sterile. We breathe briefly. Our eyes briefly see with a hurtful clarity. Our memory suddenly sharpened, examines, gnaws on kind words unsaid, promised walks never taken. And when great souls die, after a period, peace blooms, slowly and always irregularly. Spaces fill with a kind of soothing electric vibration. Our senses restored, never to be the same, whisper to us, they existed. They existed. We can be and be better, for they existed. I invite you, if you're able to, please rise. As we take a moment to recall those whom we lost recently and in seasons past for whom this poem resonates. As we recall for Shloshim, those within the last 30 days, we're remembering Sherry Kasroth. And Paul and your family all back there, we are all sending you lots and lots of love. We're also recalling those whom we lost at this season in years past in our observing yard site. We remember Louis Applebaum, Sidney Berg, Naomi Boudin, Tilly Chait, Jerry Cohen, Marceline Krev, Louis Cuno, Abraham Estrin, Jenny Finkelstein, Barbara Fox, Leonard Goldman, Reuben Height, Leonard Jobrack, Cheryl Landers, Irving Laserwitz, Bernard Linder, Adam Mallinger, Elmore Miles, Linda Portugal, Nettie Rice, Selma Ringelheim, Betty Schuster, Alan Singer, Jack Stern, Sally Rosserstrom, and Joseph Weinberg. I want to ask if there are any other names of folks whom we're remembering who you'd like to share this evening. For them, for those who have no one left to say Kaddish for them, and for all those who have been a blessing, we'll recite Kaddish together. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute, B'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chaye decho Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah mivarach le'alam ulamei almaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh. V'yit hadar v'yit aleh v'yit halal shemei dekudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'asei shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories forever be for a blessing. Amen. You may be seated. I'd like to invite up Bobby Kovitz to share some announcements with us.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this cold Friday night, but we're all here together, and that's what matters. I want to thank everyone who is a part of the Green Team for getting this wonderful initiative started for the TBS community. It's fantastic. Thank you. A couple of quick announcements. Please join us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for a Saturday morning service over Zoom, followed by Torah study. You can find the link for that in the e-window. Next Friday will be Shabbat High, so please join us back here at 6:30 for a musical service. And if you are interested in purchasing a Maj card, the clock is ticking because tomorrow is the deadline, so please be in touch with Judy Ankerman if you would like to do so. And in keeping in line with trees and planning for the future, you have a wonderful opportunity right now to secure the future of TBS via Life and Legacy. You can make a beautiful legacy gift, big or small, to secure the future of our wonderful temple. And the best part is it's not going to cost you a cent today, and you can take up to a year to formalize your plan. So if any of this sounds of interest to you, please find me, shoot me an email, grab me after services, and I would love to chat more. Shabbat Shalom, and have a wonderful weekend.
I'd like to invite up Steve to share a closing reading with us.
When I am among the trees, by Mary Oliver. When I am among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locusts, equally the beech, the oaks, and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness. I would almost say that they save me, and daily I am so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me the trees stir in their leaves and call out, stay a while. The light flows from their branches, and they call again. It's simple, they say, and you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with great light, and to shine.
Thank you, Steve. We want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom and a happy Tu B'Shvat. We're going to close this evening with Tree of Life. Oh, we don't have, oh. Sure. Oh, great, there's wine there. Thanks, Mark.
Sorry.
Really appreciate it. I guess we should take this off. Please join me. Baruch
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. L'chaim. I just want to see you drink it. It's not a Capri Sun.
Okay, now we'll continue.
Oh, now we'll continue. Okay. It is a tree of life for those that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life for those that hold fast to it, all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Eitz Chaim hi lamachazikim abatomkecha, me'ushar Eitz Chaim hi lamachazikim abatomkecha, me'ushar. Shalom, 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 shalom.
And that concludes our service. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you again to Rick and to our green team. And happy Tu B'Shvat. Let's all start composting together. Let's do it. Toot, 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 toot.